Hello and welcome to another episode of Citadel Guard Adventures. This is Beriathan of the Citadel Guard of Gondor, and we have arrived to Parth Galen, and our first stop is talking to Rohan. I met Isteron in a cave. In a cave? You're telling me the truth. Oh, Isteron, I'm starting to believe we are never going to leave this place. Should I start building a house right here on the shore of the river?
My name is Rohan, and I am a champion of Gondor and an adventurer for hire.
Well met, man. My name is Rohan, and I am a champion of Gondor and an adventurer for hire. I have come north from Gondor with my friends in search of glory and coin, not necessarily in that sequence, but now we have run into some trouble. We lost Huilin, and not long after leaving Cair Andros, we lost Huilin not long after leaving Cair Andros. He was a minstrel and did not understand the need for silence at a crucial moment. Our guardian, as staunch a dwarf as I've ever known, has been captured by Orcs, and Isteron seems to have just wandered off. He is a lore master, so I suppose we should have expected it. He gets interested in the strangest of things, and tends to follow that interest wherever it leads him, which is usually away. We could use your help, if you offer it. Introduce yourself to Hithoel over there before she goes even more grey with worry. Come speak to me again afterward, and I will answer any of your questions. So Hithoel is what? A captain? Looks like it.
Yes? Are you here to help us?
Hithoel listens as you offer her your aid, and then she nods carefully. Well, we'll see how much help you can be, Beriathan. We ran into trouble not long after we left Cair Andros, but that was only the start. These lands were supposed to be deserted, but now they are anything but empty. Orcs have poured across the river in great numbers, and we find further passage north to be much more difficult than we planned. And now our guardian has gotten himself captured.
I need everyone to be ready before we can rescue our captive guardian.
Okay. Drafli Boradshield has been a loyal companion and true through many dangerous days. The very best guardian I have ever known. He has saved the lives of every member of this band many times over. Well, except for Ramdir, but he joined us only recently. And perhaps Maedal, who is able to fade into the background whenever danger threatens. And Rohan generally can take care of herself, but he has saved some of us from time to time. Anyway, we cannot leave Drafli to the torment of the Orcs that have imprisoned him. We need to organize a rescue, but first I need everyone to be ready for such a dangerous task. Help Corudan ready a new path for us to take. Convince Ramdir that we are safe for now. Find Isteron and get his mind back where it belongs and what am I forgetting? Ah, our burglar. Find Maedal and help her come up with a plan to save Drafli. That is a lot to accomplish, but we will be in your debt, Beriathan. So yeah, we have completed all of Isteron's quests already. He is the lore master. Rohan. Okay, I'm not sure between Rohan and Hithoel. It seems one of them is a captain, another is a champion. Here we have Corudan, who is a hunter, Maedal, who is the burglar, and Ramdir, who is a warden. So let us help these guys. Let us see. Yeah, I have some questions. How many are you here? There are 8 of us. Well, 7 of us now. In the beginning, it was me and Hithoel, and Corudan our hunter, and Huilin our minstrel. We sought fame and glory and riches, and took on modest quests for even more modest treasure. But the treasures dried up as we approached, and it seemed there were fewer people looking for adventurers for hire, and more people looking out for their own skins. Before any of us knew what had happened, we had a lore master who couldn't stay focused on any single thing for more than 10 minutes, a guardian with more bravery than sense, and a warden extolling the virtues of some long-since fallen city and decrying us our comparative lack of such virtue. And no one to pay us. Yeah, you see Ramdir is wearing the clothes of Minas Ithil. So that's what Rohan means. How did you first meet? There is not much to tell about how we all fell together. I am sure you would not find it interesting. I saved Hestil's life when we were young. Let us just say she was in over her head and I came to her rescue. I should not have been even on that island, but you cannot see where life will take you. Hestil did not. That whole business with the unpleasant courser and the leaking ship. I have not thought about it in years. Quillen vowed to write a song about it, but he never did, and well, now he never will. We met Kufaran that year, I believe, in Ithilien, and he followed us first because he lost a game of knives, if you believe it. After a time he came to respect Hestil, and now he would die for her. I cannot remember what life was like before I started journeying with these people. Less exciting, I think, but even that memory is hazy now. What happened to Quillen? We were a day north of Kyrandros when we saw our first sign that something was wrong. Orcs were beginning to cross the river in small parties, but there seemed no end to these groups. We tried to move both stealthily and quickly, and paid the price for it. Kufaran twisted his ankle fiercely and cried out. Luckily, no orcs heard the cry. Our minstrel Quillen wanted to tend to his friend's hurts. No, we told him, wait until we are safe. But his concern was so great that he could not wait. It would be his very last song. We fought off the orcs, but it was unanimously decided that perhaps Quillen should try something less dangerous. He was going to see if the life of a farmer suited him better than that of an adventurer for hire. Certainly we may live longer, though we miss him every day. I am sorry. Why can't you keep moving north? Have you seen how many orcs patrol this land now? They seem to be looking for something, but what it might be I could not say. Perhaps we could sneak our way north, if fortune smiled. But we cannot go anywhere until we have rescued our guardian. Oh, and well, I met Isteron in a cave. So we have Ramdir the Warden, Kufaran the Hunter, Rodwen and Hestil, Drafli, I believe, the Guardian, Maidal the Burglar, the Minstrel that died. I'm missing one. And Isteron, of course. Okay, let us continue then. A reunion.
Shortly after we arrived in the East Wall, I lost my prized sword to the Orcs.
Shortly after we arrived in the East Wall, I was set upon by orcs and barely escaped with my life. There were perhaps a dozen of the creatures, and though I gave better than I got, they were simply too many. My greatest shame is not that I retreated, Beriathan, but that I lost my sword as I did so. I have borrowed this old thing from Hestil, but it is not as good a sword as my own. A quite high-quality blade from Gondor. It is probably in the hands of some orc now. If you could find it and return it to me, I would be indebted to you. I do not even know where to begin such a search, Beriathan. There are so many orcs throughout the East Wall. It could be any of them, if the orc that took it even remains in this land. Find Rodwen's sword, so that's the sword that we got, yeah, on one of the previous episodes. So we got you covered. Just give me a minute and I'll be back. And I'll bring your sword to you.
My name is Kufaran, and I am a hunter of great skill. Ask anyone.
Greetings to you, Warden. My name is Kufaran, and I am a hunter of great skill. Ask anyone. I will not regale you with tales of my many accomplishments, but if you are not careful, I fear my companions might. Isteron was always very impressed with my stories of the lands to the distant east. Great beasts and dangerous birds can be found there, and I have hunted them all. Rodwen might speak of my prowess in the Southlands. Do you know those mighty four-legged monstrosities? The Great Mumakil? Kufaran quickly shakes his head as you ask if he hunted one of those. Nay, not as such, but I saw one, in the distance, but still. You have not seen one, have you? The hunter regains his composure. There are a lot of vile dogs around the East Wall, and I do not think they are creatures of nature. The Rohirrim call them sweathounds, and they seem to me to be quite evil. You should hunt them as I plan to do. I think they could be cause trouble for us if they could get too near to our camp. And finally Ramdir.
Well met, friend. My name is Ramdir, and I am a warden of Minas Ithil.
Well met, friend. You are a warden unless I miss my guess? I thought so. It is a pleasure to meet you. My name is Randir, and I am a Warden of Minas Ithil. We seek to keep alive the memory of the Tower of the Moon and the virtues that it represents. There are few of us left in these dark days, but that makes our charge all the more important. I have traveled with this band of adventurers ever since I met them at Cair Andros to the south. Our goals are not precisely aligned, but I could not make the journey north on my own, and they profess the need for another protector on the road. I did not know how bad they needed it. They have not done the first thing for ensuring their safety at this camp. It is common cause enough for now. Do you see the great rock out there in the water? It is called Tol Brandir by the elves, but to men of my kind it is the Tin Rock. It is said to be unclimbable, but I worry that any orc archer could do some hurt if he managed to make it a perch. Zoom out to the Tin Rock and circle it once, looking for a sign of an orc presence. It would make me feel more secure, friend. Alright. So yeah, these are the quests that this fellowship has for us. I think the devs are having a great deal of fun creating these characters, and I am having a lot of fun too reading their quests. So yeah, really funny. Sandy footprints lead down to the water, and that is for the epic. I'm gonna do that in just a moment, but let me pick up this cache of text. And okay, let us do now. Everything has gone wrong today. What is a hobbit to do? Well, you tell me, Sam.
Those footprints are hobbit-sized. What became of our mutual friends on that dangerous day?
Okay, so here we are in the pit of San Ganji. What became of our mutual friends on that dangerous day? Let us talk to Mr. Pippin first. Why do you look so worried, Sam? You heard what Aragorn said. Frodo is just going to think about what to do for an hour, and then he'll come back and we'll all set off in whatever direction he's decided. We've got a job to do after all. I'm sure Frodo will come up with something. We will go wherever Frodo goes, won't we, Sam? That's what we decided, even before we knew the far-off lands through which his road would take him. But nothing has changed, has it? This is my vote as well, but if Frodo chooses otherwise, I will go with him. I will follow Frodo no matter his choice. It would be a betrayal to do anything else. It would be if we all deserted him, but I propose something different. I think Frodo should go east with 3 companions, myself and Gimli and Sam. Boromir should return to his own city with Legolas and Meriadoc and Peregrine. What? No! That's what the Hobbits are saying. So yeah, I don't think they are too happy with that idea, Mr. Strider. What do you have to say? I know it isn't easy for your friends to hear, Sam, but I think it is the best course. Frodo has probably come to the same realization that both ways are desperate. He may in fact be trying to decide which way is most desperate in order to make his choice more clear. You think Aragorn may not fully understand your master, and apologetically tell him that Frodo probably has no intention of going to Minas Tirith at all. He intends to go east, to Mordor, but he's afraid for those of the company that go with him. You may be right, Sam. The hour is just about up. We should call for him. Boromir, where have you been? Have you seen Frodo? Well, yes and no. I saw him a ways up the hill and I urged him to come with me to Minas Tirith. I grew angry and he vanished. I have never seen anything like it. Oh, Elbereth, why would he do that? Is that all you have to say, Boromir? How long has it been since you saw him? It has been half an hour, perhaps? Or maybe an hour? I do not know. I do not know. He needs our aid. Frodo, we must divide into pairs and carefully... No, wait! Come back! Boromir, I do not know what part you played in this, but redeem yourself now. Keep those hobbits safe. Stay with me, Sam. We must not get separated. Would be funny if Aragorn ran a little bit faster than Sam. Hold on a minute. Sam, you say to yourself, this is a time for plain old hobbit sense. So yeah, Sam thinks that when he sees that he cannot run as fast as Aragorn, so he uses hobbit sense. Frodo can't fly and he has no gear, so he needs to get back to the boats. Even without his Sam? Yes, even without his Sam. We'll need to hurry up and find Frodo before he leaves without us. One of the boats is missing. Frodo has already taken it. Frodo appears before you. He was wearing the ring, and now he has removed it. Well, I think for this one, I am indeed gonna turn this off for a moment and grab a nice picture of Frodo and Sam. Now they are setting on the path to Mordor. Okay, let us talk to Mr. Frodo. Sam, what a nuisance you are. Don't you know you can't really swim? What would you have done if I had not grabbed you? He shakes his head in an exasperated way. Sam, I need to go on to Mordor alone. It's the only way. You refuse to be left behind, to Frodo's growing consternation. Do not hinder me, Sam. The others will be back soon, and if they catch us here, they will make us explain and argue, and I will not be able to resist. If we are going, we have to go now. Frodo laughs. Oh, Sam, you have spoiled my plan, but I am glad of it. We were meant to live together. That much is clear to me now. Let us be off. Yeah, you are cruel, Mr. Frodo, leaving poor Sam behind. So well, we have picked all the clues we could find on the east wall about the fate of the company here in Parth Galen. Well, no, I think we might be missing a few more clues, but we have the basic of what happened. Helped by the vision in the mirror and what we have found for ourselves in here, we just need to go back to Corudan, to the shadow of the Argonath, and tell him about it. But first, we are gonna make sure to help these guys in here. They really need our help. So what we're gonna do first,
Welcome, my friend.
we've traveled to Mansik's encampment. Now, this sucks. There are no forge masters in here, and I don't still up to going back to another area, so let's just do this.
You say you have found the owner of the blade. How do you know?
You say that you have found the owner of the blade? Really? How do you know? You recount the tale told to you by Rodwin of her encounter with the orcs and how she left her sword behind. I suppose the blade does belong to her. He does not sound like much of a champion if you ask for my opinion. One of the Rohirrim would rather die than leave his blade behind. Still grumbling, Wilfred hands you the sword to return to Rodwin. Okay, so there we have it. Rodwin is a champion, Hestil is the guardian, captain.
Interesting.
Wilfred listens as you describe the blood-stained tree at the dead orc glade. Interesting, he says after a moment. You say there was no body near the tree, and no trail of blood leading from the base of the oak anywhere nearby. It seems to me that our unknown warrior must have rested at the base of that tree after slaying the orcs in that glade. One thing still puzzles me, Beriathan. Where did our mystery warrior go after his great deed? If he succumbed to his wounds, his body would remain by the tree. Did he survive? Or did he have friends to bear his body away? We may never know.
What did you find?
What did you find, Beriathan? Wilfred listens to your description of the scene at the glade with an expression of growing admiration. What glory! Some great hero certainly left his mark on that place. More than a dozen dead orcs, you said? I would have liked to see our Mr. Friend in person. And you say you did not see a body. Where could he have gone, I wonder? Thank you for investigating the place for me, Beriathan. Tales of such recent glory stir my heart and inspire me to work even harder for my people. For Rohan! Okay, so it was a quick stop. In here. Once again, we are not going back to the Argonauts yet. We are gonna do all the other things first. Again, we have Burglar, Captain, Champion, Hunter, Lore Master, a Warden, a Guardian, and the Dead Minstrel. Okay. Okay, it seems I have my numbers straight for once.
You found my sword!
Thank you, Beriathan. It is good to hold it once again. Where did you find it? You tell Rodwin the story, and though you keep some of what Wilfred said to yourself, she is still able to piece together the tone of his comments. Was it shameful to leave my sword behind? Perhaps. But if everyone acted as this Rohirrim man insists he would do, there would be fewer Rohirrim in this land, that is certain. There is honor in staying alive, Beriathan. A noble death may lead to a multitude of songs, but a hasty retreat may lead to more dead orcs. Your Rohirrim friend might do well to remember that. Thank you for finding my sword. Now she and I have work to do. Alright. So, a few extra caches in here. Let's see if we can pick them up without alerting the orcs to our presence. What? What? How in the seventh hells were you here? Die! Good thing, how is an orc supposed to swim? How am I supposed to see you there? Like... Okay, now I do see you in there. Though I don't understand. Are you supposed to breathe underwater? Okay, so let us go to the Tin Rock, which I think is this island over here. which receives the name of Tolbrandir, it seems. So we were discussing names in the last episode. I prefer Tolbrandir to Tinrock. Elven names are so poetic and so inviting in a way, suggestive. You have swum out to and discovered the Tinrock called Tolbrandir by the elves. Here we have a drowned orc. The waterlogged body of an orc floats here. Judging from the state of the corpse and its position locked up against the steep cliff, this orc sought to climb the Tinrock but failed. If he did not hit the cliff during his rapid descent, the impact with the water was enough to finish his attempt. You are confident it also put an end to any other orc designs on climbing the Tinrock. It seems as unclimbable as Ramdir hoped it would be. The orcs have tried and failed to scale the Tinrock, so that is good news. Let us go back to Ramdir with the news. And well, let us see what else we need to do. We need to defeat the Sword Hounds throughout the East Wall. And we need to find Maedal, actually. So I think we can remove these arrows of elf make and get this in here so that it can show us the location of Maedal.
You say the orcs have not managed to climb the Tinrock?
That is good. It would be a devastating perch from which they could rain arrows upon my companions. These are good people, Beriathan, even if they care more for glory and coin than for the ideals of the Wardens of Minas Ithil. However, they are not cautious enough by half. I will stand by them for as long as our paths are the same, but I tell you true, I will fear for their safety once we go our separate ways.
There is a massive orc presence on Amon Hen.
How much do you know of this area, Beriathan? Two hills rise on either side of the river, and between them the torrent descends at Raudos. You can hear the fault from quite far away, such is the power of his voice as it echoes between the slopes of the hills. The names of these hills are Amon Hen on this side of the river and Amon Law on the far side. There are great stone seats on the crest of each hill, the seat of Sin on Amon Hen and the seat of Kirin on Amon Law. In days of old, great kings came to sit in those high places and much was revealed to them. There is a massive orc presence upon Amon Hen just to the east of here. Climb the hill, defeating as many of the orcs as you can, and stand at the summit. If you look across the river, you may be able to see if Amon Law is host to a similar orc presence. That will tell me what we may deal. Okay, so Ramdir was telling us is a warden of Minas Ithil. You might remember Beriathan does have some ancestors that were also hail from Minas Ithil. So I don't know how close we are to each other, Ramdir, but you do remind me of my heritage. So nice meeting you. Keep the ideals of Minas Ithil alive for as long as you can, and I hope you will see long enough to see the city reclaimed. But that we cannot know. So as you can see, we need to climb the hill of Amon Hen, and that is something that I wanna do. But I want to make sure that I come to Amon Hen at day so that I can bathe in the view a little bit more. So what I think I'm actually gonna do is look for the Sword Hounds. But instead of traveling there by foot, gonna take the Stable Master. and take a swift travel once again to Mansik's encampment.
Your aid is welcome, friend.
There were plenty of sword hounds around the area. I'm not sure what I didn't get them when I was there before, but okay. No big deal. We will dismount in here. And we'll make our way to the south. We need to find 6 of those hounds. I hope there would be plenty of them on our journey south back to Parth Galen. Okay, I see one there. I think it's the first sword hound we fight here in the East Wall, so we have Ancient Evil Slayer of the Eastern Mid. We need 100 of them. We are about to get our first 6 of those. Now there seems to be some sort of ruin atop that hill, and well, you know, where there are ruins there are polar artifacts, so let us go there and hopefully we will find some. There's a hound in here. Ah, come on, die. Thank you. Peace. Another hound in here. We have one cache on the side. And another one on this other side, a heavy ornate cache. For God's sake. Stupid piece of pork field. You die. Leave me alone. Now the dawn. That is a sight that we might worth looking at by the shadow of the Argonath. But just take a look at how beautiful Nen Hithoel looks at dawn. Let's grab this. We need 3 more hounds. On. I mean, there are obviously a lot of orcs in the area, but I need hounds. Okay. One in here. Awesome. You die. Rich Rittermark's Karn. It's a shame we are not a prospector. Oh, really? Another bird hound on the area, please. No. Oh, come on, I just need 2. And I don't want to go to the south until I have them all. Why are they so hard to find? Orcs and more orcs. Yes. Ah, for Christ's sake. Okay, finally, here it is. You come here. You're not supposed to go away. That's it. We can go back to Kufaron. The other guys. Oh, no. Oh. Ah. Let us ride. Oh. Oh, Limbot, I thought you could make that jump. I was thinking before we go back to Kufaron, might be able to get to Amon Hen. Let's try and do that. Because nearby Amon Hen, the city of Thing, we will also find Maedal. And he will have another set of quests for us. Don't know how many, but that's where he is. Have I gotten any interesting thing? No, I don't think so. Wow, okay. Six. Okay, I like this area a lot. Let's craft these, all of these really quick. One in here. And the last one. Here. Alrighty. Oh. Ah. So we can talk to Kufaron, but that is a matter for another day. Yeah, Maedal is somewhere around here. Hidden from the orcs, yeah. Over here.
Psst. Yes, you there. No, do not look at me.
These orcs are dim-witted, but even they will notice if they see you speaking to the air. I have many skills of the finest burglars, but I cannot make myself entirely invisible. I am skilled, but not as skilled as that. Maedal coos to herself quietly, then goes on. My friend Drafli Boradshield has gotten himself captured by the orcs here on this hill. They have him in a cage a little further up, and I am stealthily keeping an eye on him by hiding in plain sight. They have not noticed me yet. Defeat some of the orcs and uruks on Amon Hen, if you are climbing the hill anyway. When it is time to make my move and rescue my friend, it will be a great help to have fewer of the creatures to cut through. I could get in and out sneakily, of course, but Drafli is not the quietest of dwarves. Okay, so yeah, we'll get those uruks on our way to Amon Hen, so no biggie. There is no shortage of the beasts in here, so come on, stay in one place. Yeah, you die. Well, okay, so far the East Wall has had its fair share of scholar artifacts lying around. There are a couple locations that are really cool to farm, maybe. Okay. Climb Amon Hen, and at the Sea of Sin. Let me grab a few oh my god. What will happen, I wonder, if I try to sit on Amon Hen? That's it. Okay, so there are some locations in which you can have a proper seat animation, but it seems this is not one of those places because this is the animation that plays when you sit on the ground. But yeah, let me grab a few pictures of Amon Hen here. Like, what am I looking at exactly? The south. So yeah, that's the Beacon Hills. That is to the east. Amon Law, the Emin Muil. And to the west, This tree is blocking the view, but to the west we will have Rohan. Oh yeah, you can get to... Oh, I wasn't aware of that. You can get to Gondor through here. It's been a while since I came here, so... No, I'm just enjoying the view. I think it would be worth it coming back here at another point. I have not looked at it. Look across the river at Amon Law, here. You see distant fires and camps of the Orcs on Amon Law. A great force gathers there. Yeah. Well, once again, Beriathan has a sharper eye than I do. But yeah, if he sees Orcs, then we have Orcs in there. And you know what? I'm enjoying the view here in Amon Hen a lot. I think I want to hang around here for a little bit longer, and hopefully snap a few more pictures along the way. So let me get back to you on the next episode. We'll continue helping this fellowship rescue their guardian, and then we'll come back to Corudan and tell him what we have found here in Parth Galen. So thank you for joining me today on this episode of Citadel Guard Adventures. I hope you enjoyed, and I hope to see you on the next one. Until then, my friends, stay safe, take care, good luck to you all, and I will see you later.